So, new episode of Matière Numérique, Matnum, to make it more anglophone-like and shorter, which I use, this playlist I use to talk about computational photography and basically the software apps I've developed, the algorithms I've developed, and how it transforms photography. So a little bit like the previous months, I'm actually working on some new modules now, which wasn't really the case in some of the latest months, but nothing new coming really out yet for this episode. But so I'm here, it's going to mainly be like on those three first pictures about using my apps. It's predominantly Camare. Most pictures here are taken with Camare. There's Camare Vika, Digital Paula, and Darkcam as apps I've developed and I use. And here, that's basically I'm following the last episode. I'm still in Reykjavik, and the picture on the left, that's the southwest coast of Iceland. And the others are in the Bay of Reykjavik and a detail of the boat I was on, the fishing boat I was on. So interesting textures for me. I think that's really part of the experience of using this fashion of computational photography. And yeah, I'm not going to really describe anything more. Like on those three pictures, that's in the Bay of Reykjavik, very different treatments. With the sky and the bird, the seagull on the left. I think it can be very similar to the experience with digital photography when the algorithms really become very complex. I think the granularity makes it kind of hard in some aspects to know if it's analog or digital. Here again, three pictures, that's more central. The fork could have been anywhere, that's for sure, but I kind of like the graphical rendering. The water on the left, that's at a geyser with this kind of interesting color, mineral color from the geyser. It's central Iceland, the Golden Circle, and the famous waterfalls of Gullfoss on the right, with this really different treatment than we usually see. And I think it doesn't. It's interesting because the treatment, in my opinion, doesn't really change the subject. We still see what it is, but it really brings another kind of poetry or another kind of story. Three pictures here also. Most of the pictures I'd taken this month were during other projects, photographic projects. So this is part of a project where I wanted to follow the latest volcano that was on in Iceland, southwestern Iceland. But actually, usually we take pictures when they start, and I wanted to picture it at the end. So these pictures, three pictures here, here it's by helicopter. I was trying to overlook what was going on. And that's actually the last 2 days before the end of the volcano. It shut down basically around in the hours following this shoot. And on the left you see all the hikers that came on the nearby mountain to try to see something. And here the volcano, the eruption that's slowly getting to an end with those very different treatments that I think give a little bit more of intensity to the story and not only to the graphical aspect of the volcano. The picture on the left is kind of blurry, but I kind of like that feeling because it kind of makes you want to understand what's going on and gives it some dynamic. Here's the three next pictures, again flying over this volcano. On the picture on the left, you can see the sea far away. Hard to distinguish because of the treatment. That's with Ondo, basically, and there's a film overlay, but yeah, I kind of liked this choice I choose the picture I like for this presentation, so, and a better close-up on the middle picture. And at the end, that was the two women pilots, great pilots. We had, that's us landing at the Reykjavik airport. Great ride. I like the graphical aspect of it here. Two more pictures. The next day, because it was basically supposed to be the last day, the next day we see the volcano, same volcano. Actually, I believe it's already stopped, but I was also testing a telephoto lens on my traditional camera, and we can distinguish a few eruptions, but not really incandescent. They're kind of dark, so it's probably really the moment where the volcano is shutting down, and on the right that's the plains where the volcano is. Again, that day, that was the next day from the flyover. I hiked there, a few hours hike to get there, and you have all those incredible landscapes. They're not desolated to me; they're more like outwardly. Actually, they're kind of the opposite by nature, because it's that's how our above sea Earth is forming. But yeah, I really loved. For those who haven't been to Iceland, it's kind of another world. And here we see the older volcanoes kind of smoothing out. Again here with this trail in the middle picture, the trail, Icelandics are pretty organized, and you have this trail for the people who want to go see the volcano, which is well delineated. And also we're at the end of the eruption, so it has been really walked on, hiked on. And on the right, that's on the way to the region of the volcano, a part of the sea. Here are 3 photos back in Reykjavik. What I was saying before, I think that's also part of the thesis of what I'm doing through my apps. I'm not searching for digital characteristics per se. I'm looking for a certain kind of image. And for example, the picture on the left, that's a corner of the Harpa opera in Reykjavik at sunset. I think when the complexity, it's a little bit like, for artificial intelligence, when the complexity of the signal of the output is the granularity is really fine. It's hard to distinguish if it's digital or analog, and that's what I like. Also, it gets more. You're more interested in the resulting image than in what's going on in terms of treatment. Same here for the bar in the middle, or this view, this overview of downtown area in Reykjavik during the night. Here also I like that treatment. That's the new hospital complex in Reykjavik that's being built. I like this really raw concrete with just low light from the sun. Makes for this, I don't know, I like those industrial looking images, so I kind of like this. And I think with the app, my app treatments, my algorithms, that's why I actually code them. It's to have that kind of image, and even in random mode it gets me what I want. 3 more pictures, random pictures, me going back to the airport. The airport from afar. The sunset on the right, and on the left, a random building on the way to the airport. And here also, that's a picture taken with the booty filter. I like the granularity. I think it evokes that moment of the day more than it could if it was really explicit. And it gets, for me, more interesting in what it evokes than what it explicitly shows. Here we're moving totally away. That's during a recording I was doing. I have this new playlist which is named Tracks. I'm experimenting with it, part of VonCam, where I will a little bit tell more about how I test my equipment or how I experiment with it. And that's in the Mid-Jura Mountains in the German part of Switzerland, north of Switzerland. And yeah, I think the video is going to come up. There's the first actually Tracks video is coming next week, and the week after you'll have a Tracks for Iceland, and you'll have the Tracks after coming. That's probably the 3rd episode. So you'll have all the pictures, the traditional pictures, the film pictures, the digital pictures, and these 2, and with more explanation. But I kind of like the feeling of those 3 pictures, how we see we're at the same place, but the treatment makes it quite different in terms of sensuality. Here also 3 kind of churches with those random treatments. Like the results, I'm not going to go way more into it, but I've told that in the previous episodes. I'm starting to appreciate folded paper look. I don't know really why, but I think it works pretty well for certain kind of things. In here also, again, that's a church in Alton. The same picture using the experimental editor in Camare, included in Camare. I do prefer the picture on the left, but the two other are kind of on par in terms of what I feel when I look at those. And I think that's important also to note how different the treatment can, how much of a difference the treatment can make on an original image, which is the same. And yeah, and for this week it's pretty short. So it's a short episode, but yeah, hopefully next month I'll have a new module. So hopefully we'll have something to crave a little bit more on and to chew on. That's more important, and to crave for and chew on. And anyways, if you have questions, comments, suggestions, don't hesitate to post below or even send a voice message. And yeah, catch you next time.